Welcome to the Soft Vikings, a quest for meaning, purpose, and loyalty, a little bit of love. I'm John, the lost son.
I'm Eric, still the tyrannical father.
Yeah, still.
I try to
Hanging in there on the ropes.
Yeah, my old tyrannical self. I don't give up that easy.
Habits.
Habits. Maybe we should talk about that today. Habits and patterns.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
Big thing, hard to break, hard to establish.
Super hard.
But a beautiful tool, at least habits.
It's without them you would go crazy.
Yes.
Pretty fast.
I guess.
If you had to make conscious decisions about everything you do, you would be exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, your body takes a lot of decision without even asking you for permission.
I mean, I think
Can my heart
even
request from your heart? Can I beat?
Like what's my heart rhythm supposed to be now? You don't think about it.
No.
That's the body.
Yes.
And how you act in the world. I think most of it on a day-to-day basis, it's 90% is just whatever you did yesterday.
Yes.
You just copy.
Yep. And suddenly you're gone.
Yeah. And that I guess that's an interesting aspect of habits and patterns, is that if they always are the same,
Yes.
it's kind of hard to tell time apart.
That's
and
true.
Life just flies away.
Yeah.
Because what happened a year ago and 2 years ago, 10 years ago, it's the same.
Yeah, and it's. I think I would postulate that good habits are an open road to freedom. Because, as you said, it's a lot of automatic things that goes on in your body, which is good for you.
Yeah.
It's not bad that your heart works. It's not bad that your biochemistry works. It's not bad that everything is functioning.
Yeah, it would suck if you forget. So
Yes.
then
And if you can add more to that of good things, then it liberates you to focus on the things that's really important.
I guess that's also why it's so hard to fix the socio-economical status of a population, because a child learns most of their patterns and habits when they're young.
Yes.
And it's practically impossible to rectify all the bad ones later.
Yes.
So they'll stick.
Yes. And in the modern society, everything is outsourced.
Yeah.
So even the parents are not really, they're only a small part of it. Of course, they're very important at the beginning. But now it's like institutions, school, and, of course, peers, but not so much peers anymore, because children are not, free play is almost taken out.
I heard.
Too dangerous.
Yeah.
And what that does with people in the long run,
what
you
kind of
maybe-
habits and patterns will they have, right?
that's a motivation to stay alive for long, just to see how it plays out.
Maybe they'll start doing be a high risk seeking.
Yes, a lot of them.
Maybe.
Yeah. But it's always a part of the population that does that anyway.
But doesn't always the young have a need to rebel?
Yes, they should do.
They do, right?
Yeah, and they do
It's
it.
an innate need.
They always do it. You can always complain on the young ones. That's been done.
It's going to be
since
curious
the
now.
beginning of time.
How do you rebel in society which, on one side, tries to be as safe as possible, and on the other side tries to allow all kinds of behavior at the same time?
Yeah.
It's a very strange mix of safety and...
You should be
How
safe.
do you rebel?
You should be safe, but you should be allowed to do abortion.
So you're gonna be a risk-taking housewife.
Yes.
Or something. I don't know what that looks like.
Oh, it's. I
Doing
mean,
a lot of chemicals.
we are swallowing some great paradoxes, but that's maybe necessary to move in life. But patterns and habits, we take it in with the same, in the same episode here, because this, it's not the same, but similar, because.
Yeah, it's similar.
But patterns goes very much deep into relationships, because a relationship can have its patterns where it's more
It's like
reactive, and that I feel that our relationship has been very governed by patterns.
Yeah, it's like you are designated a role in a play, and
Yes.
that's your role, no matter what.
Yeah.
You're gonna play that.
And it's super hard to get out of. And it's so deep, because it's when we started this preparation for the journey,
Yes.
maybe the preparation is part of the journey, which it always is.
It's
The journey starts when you start prep.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's the start.
Yeah. So in a way, we started the journey, and I had this, and we talked about that a lot. This view on you, which is by my basic reaction on whatever you do. It's critical.
Yeah.
Meaning, I criticize you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good enough, or I'm just looking for
what's
your
lacking.
mistakes, or that you could do this better or that better.
Yeah.
And that's some sort of an attitude, which is crazy shit, because in a way it manifests itself.
Yeah.
So in a way I'm part of creating it.
Yeah.
And when I suddenly said, wow, for like 40 years I've been doing this, I maybe wasn't that critical to you when you were really small, because then it's something being really small that also melt that tyrant in a way.
Can't be too rough on the baby, I guess.
No, and I feel I was very gentle with you, and I really enjoyed it. But babies have happily they grow up, at least you did, and then they start to doing shit, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't know how long I've been like, he can do better and blah, 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 this critical view on you.
Yeah.
But I have, and that's a little hard with this podcast, because I get this, it comes through my unconsciousness, right? In the dreams and everything, that things I've done, which if looked at it now, it's like, is it possible to be that stupid? And that, totally missing it, and not seeing a person or a child as it is, and only seeing it through the lenses of how you want that person to be.
Yeah.
But I guess on the depth of it, it's my self-criticism.
Yeah, I think we went into that. I think that's the key cause of most things, is how you view yourself. And that manifests especially on the one that's closest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then I soften, and then suddenly I start to see you in another light, which is a little frightening, of course, but also very emotional, of course. And I get all this feedback that people that meets you give me, and now I'm listening to that.
Yes.
Before I was just pushing it away, because my main pattern
didn't fit
the story.
No.
Of course, I have the critic is not disappeared.
Oh, it's still justified.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I have a long list. So,
Long list.
Yeah.
So list is there.
Yeah.
No, but there's yeah, I think what you say about when you're so entrenched or so fixed on your way of looking at it, even when other people give you
It bounces off.
real feedback,
It doesn't
kind of
stick.
doesn't stick because it doesn't fit. So
No.
it's like, yeah, whatever you say.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Because you don't listen.
Yeah.
Because that could be either too painful, mostly too painful, right?
That's probably the thing. Then you had to change
Yes.
your opinion or
Yes.
yourself.
Yes. And then you have to admit that you've done like stupid things,
Yeah. And
big
it's
mistakes.
it's like a responsible,
All that said,
all that said.
you have a huge improvement potential.
Yeah. Which is a very good thing.
Yes, that's super to come from a low position.
The best thing. Keep
best,
keep them expecting nothing
Yeah.
and deliver.
Yeah, be all back in the peloton, hidden.
It's much better.
Yeah, nobody knows that it's even in the race.
No, and then you just sweep in.
Yeah, then you come when it's.
No, but you're onto a very like it was much harder to talk about it a little while ago, and 10 years ago we tried to have this conversation and we just
It
didn't
was
even
just
couldn't start.
Circling,
Didn't get anywhere.
reactive. I mean, you could
too much
predict exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, it was the patterns.
Yeah, the patterns was just taking and grabbing us. And I think that is very common in most relationships.
Yes, it's like this sadly and happily so.
Yes.
Because in a healthy, good relation, it kind of
Then you can call it good habits.
yeah, and in a more dysfunctional, negative relation, it's they keep doing the same silly things.
Yes.
And it's so hard to get away.
So hard to get away, and but so rewarding if you try.
Yeah, and I think you're onto maybe the most important thing there is that you don't really necessarily have to change all the patterns or habits. It's more demonstrating to the other party that you are trying, and that kind of is more important.
Yeah, it's all about.
It's not about success necessarily. It's about attempt,
perspective, the attitude.
Yeah, and then the roles changes slowly, right?
Yeah, because if I feel that you look at me differently, it will change me.
True.
It will something will just fall off.
Yeah.
Sometimes if the pattern is really toxic and you're locked into it, it can take a lot of time because you want to punch and the way you manage to hurt the other one is not working anymore. Then you're confused and maybe you put more force into it. It's like can take time. And sometimes, I don't know, but I guess some relationships are beyond repair. I would say no, but
maybe, but it's a time issue.
Yeah,
if you had,
and it's a revelation also. It's just a moment of opening that is necessary just to,
I think you could probably fix any relation, but do you have time?
Yeah,
to do
and
it?
very often it's on the dying die from this old tyrant.
That starts. Now
No,
he wants to write that good
I
book.
loved you all.
I loved you all. Please be nice in my afterlife.
But maybe the motivation is not the right one. But then you suddenly are aware of that the only thing that exists is the moment, I guess.
Yeah, but the legacy issue is huge for many people. And they care
is that
about
an ego thing, or is it?
I mean,
is it your ego that wants the legacy?
I would say so.
Or is
but
it-
it's a natural thing.
I think it's a social norm because if you
Yeah, but kids is a legacy.
yeah,
In many ways.
yeah, that
Or
it is.
You can make
But that
a
you
big
don't
building.
really control. But
It's also legacy.
yes, and the way you conduct your life.
So I think some people say
But the Vikings had this as one of the most important things.
yeah, because then you have to behave in the
that's why I
proper
say,
way.
Yeah,
or
so
else
it's a social norm. So if everybody cares about the legacy, it's disciplinary. It's like then you adjust to the norms or the values.
and like you shouldn't speak ill of the dead is a kind of a tradition.
Yes.
Because now they can't affect their legacy no more.
No, and they can't defend themselves.
The ultimate gossip.
Yes.
Talk about the dead ones.
Yes.
What are they gonna do?
No.
Kind of defenseless.
Or talk on
But
behalf.
that's what it is, though.
Or talk on behalf of the nature or the whales or something, because
No, I think.
what can they say?
What can they say? No, but especially like it's also so hard to see how patterns and like the roles or habits change because you are yourself every day, right? So you kind of have to like watch a video from yourself 2 years ago, then you can suddenly, oh, that's what I was thinking and doing, right?
But I think that both you and me, have had a lot of really bad habits.
Yeah.
So we have a long history of like super bad habits, or not. I don't want to say bad necessarily, but like habits that is not like has
Like a
maybe
negative.
negative, or they've been a way to maybe handle pain or handle traumas, or in that type of realm.
Yeah, I guess your coping mechanism
Coping,
can
yes.
become habits,
Yes.
and then you just do them even when you don't need to cope.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep.
Something like that, like drugs and other silly things.
Drugs and sex and rock and roll.
Yeah,
I mean,
which can be,
that was my favorite for
which can be very.
many years.
Yeah, it's ain't a bad way to escape, is it?
No,
It works.
It works. I had this. It's changed dramatically now, but I think we spoke a little about it in an early episode. That in like from I was 13 to like mid 20s, I was like doing everything.
Yeah,
On a super regular basis.
like trying, hardcore escape.
Of course. And that I managed to function. That's I think that's the genes.
Yeah. Well, when you're that young, you are more resilient.
Yeah,
You
but I
do
had
that.
People left and right dying
Yeah. So
from overdoses and all that shit. I never
genes and luck.
and some sort of guiding voice in you. I understood, for instance, that I never took anything with a needle,
That's
to have a shot.
Good rule.
Yeah, that's a super rule, because the guys that did that one thing that they got addicted to what they were shooting, but they got addicted to the shooting as such, because it gives you such a kick.
And the needle.
Yeah, and the needle and the whole procedure,
Yeah, it's a ritual.
It's a ritual,
Yeah.
super strong, and no Salvation Army is coming and lifting you, or your mother, or your love, or anything. It comes with that shot.
It's not more, like there's no more rock and roll then, is it? It's just drugs.
Then it's just drugs.
Maybe not even sex.
I don't know.
just
Know the Rolling Stones guy, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. Mick Jagger, what does he do to his hair?
I think
He has to have a super hairdresser. It's like,
I think they got a crew. It's working.
you think it's a wig?
I haven't looked at him with that.
No, I saw a picture
intently,
yesterday,
but
and it's all
probably
fucking the same as it was in the 20s. It cannot be for real. But he's
probably not.
He's a real health freak, like me.
Probably.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, that's like how you wanna. If you want to stay in shape when you get older, you can't just not do that.
No. That we can talk a lot.
You can
about.
go hard and you can do rock
the
and
point
roll.
with with Mick Jagger, I think he didn't shoot.
No.
I think, of course, they took a lot of heroin and everything, but I think they consumed it in a more human way. I'm not sure, but to get off the shooting is hard.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah. It's like, where do you go?
And maybe they were lucky, so they got pure stuff. And also back in the 70s, the drugs we got, I think it was not that fucked up as it is today.
Mm.
It was pure stuff. A
Perhaps,
theory I have. I don't know.
perhaps.
I don't know. But you also had your story with drugs.
Sure. I never did needles either. I've also figured that was I wasn't
A bridge too far.
very smart. Didn't look smart.
No.
No, I mean, I started much later than you.
You
I
started
was
in
very super healthy until
15, 16?
yeah, even later than that. I mean, I started to drink
Yes.
alcohol
Yes.
around that time,
Yes.
but that was it
Yes.
until maybe like 17, 18.
Yes. But then you
but,
went into it.
But I never. I mean, my thing was smoking weed.
Yes.
But other drugs, I hardly did at all. I kind of figured out that since I was doing it so much for an escape,
Yes.
that's probably a really bad idea.
Yes.
That was one
So you had
thought.
some sort of thought, like
Yeah, that was a decision.
conscious.
Yeah,
thought.
yeah. Because I saw other people around me too, and I was like, you can do all these other kind of drugs
Yes.
that's much more potent.
Yes.
Will escape you
So,
faster.
so it was like, if I have to do this on a daily basis, which I need to escape, I have to go with the
I'll do
softest one.
that one. Yeah, and that's also was the one that I felt that I could be myself the most. I could think.
Yeah.
I wasn't wasted. Alcohol,
No,
you
no.
can't think. The
No,
same.
no,
It's hard.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
a couple of drinks, but if you had drunk, you're drunk.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, because weed is like a little introvert drug in many ways. You are like pushed a little back.
Yeah, it has definitely has its drawbacks.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
There's many.
Yeah, of course, the
You
social
have
part, you are, you have maybe a little, nice sense of humor. You can
Yeah,
laugh
but that's the
together.
positive. That's not a hard negative. I think
No.
the big, at least from in my experience, the big hard negative for doing that stuff is you get it takes away your motivation.
Yes.
It makes you passive
Yes.
because it makes it okay to be passive.
Yep.
That's kind of the danger, and of course the upside too. So,
Yeah.
but so my experience with that was I did that a lot, but I didn't. Then for most of that time when I smoked a lot, I didn't drink. It was just that.
Yep.
So I didn't mix too much.
But
I tried other stuff too, like recreationally, but not like a habit.
No, but your smoking habit was like heavy.
Sometimes there was years,
Yes.
some years where
That
it
you
was a lot.
Yeah, where you really were into it, or
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the dark in a way.
Yeah, we did it like every day.
Yeah. And not much else.
No, that was it.
That was this.
Yeah, I never did like. I didn't have any taste for.
No, that's what I'm
other
saying,
drugs.
but not my point. It was like you did the smoking, and then the rest of your life was a little on hold.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Like at some points, totally. At other points, just.
So you rigged you up with a big,
Well, it was different.
big stash box and a
different
beautiful
times.
girl, and that's it.
I mean, I had something to do, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I was suffering too much all the time, but it was sometimes. It was different. Depends on when you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
But like for doing the thinking and like learning things, it ain't too bad because at least you remember.
No, but intellectual, yes.
Yeah. So
But
you
not-
can keep doing that.
Not practical, and
But
not
I wouldn't
and not
recommend
together
it.
with others. More like learning by studying, or
Yeah.
Yeah. reading, listening, self-studying.
Self-studying and gaming, of course. It's a
Yes.
very potent combination
Yes.
for many
You
men.
think you learn a lot of gaming? Or is that
some
an
games?
escape?
Sure, you can
Yeah.
definitely. There's a lot of.
But
It's coming out now though more and
Yeah.
more that like, hey, this is actually really good. You get problem solving, you get
Yeah.
coordination, you get thinking,
there's a lot of good things.
language even.
But it's like everything, it's a balance, right?
That's it. And it depends on what are you doing. What are you playing here?
Yeah.
Pokemon, like playing Tetris again. Maybe.
Tetris on weed, maybe not so.
Well, coordination. I'm just saying. I would say for a kid, if you're gonna sit there and smoke all day, you're better off playing games than watching just TV or porn.
Yes.
For sure. At least you're doing something. But I wouldn't.
We
recommend
had that possibility, the combination of weed and porn. That wasn't accessible.
That's even I was lucky enough that I'm old enough. I didn't grow up with that in the same way, because that's such a potent combination. You get all your fixes in a way, enough.
And I think that was also for me one of the negatives with weed. You very passive, and also passive towards in the dating scene, or
you you can easily lose that.
Yes,
right, because you're okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it depends on your sex drive and motivation.
Yeah,
if that's different, and your prospects
and your assets, yeah.
And your prospects.
Do you have anything?
Is it hopeless? Okay, stay home.
Yeah. Or if you have anything going for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, to be honest, that I can sense that in my life sometimes. That like, if I don't have a girlfriend,
yes,
your motivation to do things to acquire that goes up and up every day.
Of course.
Until like a critical point, we're like, okay, fixed it.
Yeah, I have to go on.
I have to do something.
But that is like fading, not like dramatically, but like with age. Thank God, it's not.
Well, you lose the need so much.
Yes.
And it's like if you're, well, you can do as some of the rock and roll stars and the movie stars. You get a kid when you're 72, but it's like, well.
Al Pacino got one now. He's like 83.
Or 83.
I think that's a marketing trick.
Well,
or it's a way to show himself that I'm still in the game.
Yeah, you kind of are. So
yeah, sure. Of course.
What more do you need? What's the evidence?
Yeah, it's hard proof.
Screaming, living evidence.
Yeah.
No, but sex, drugs, and rock and roll, I think, or like entertainment, I guess rock and roll kind of represents, right?
Yeah.
Or the little wild, not responsible.
Yes. Riot.
Do the fun things, but I mean, I think you gotta have some of it in your life, or else maybe you sit down and like later in life say, I never did any of that. I missed out.
Of course, but it's about the habits and the patterns, right? And both you and me have been a little buried in bad habits when it comes to drugs. And it's taken its toll.
Yeah.
It comes with a price.
It does.
And we can look at it and we can talk about it, because it's very hard to tell what could happen if we hadn't done it. So it's not that interesting to talk about. But what's interesting to talk about is, are those habits still active? Do we see them? Have we changed, the way of handling uncomfortable feelings or reactive patterns with other habits? Yeah. That's worse, better? Is there any,
It's a very layered question. I would say immediately that I think so many of our habits and patterns are triggered by what kind of environment we are in. So if you just go back to some where you used to do those, let's say where you used to take many drugs.
Yes.
If you then go back to that old place with those old people,
you can get
start again.
Yes.
Because that's what you do.
That was my experience. I mean, I quit smoking weed. I smoked on a daily basis. I think I was like 23, 24. And I had to smoke before I went to bed. kveldsrev.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
evening.
evening ritual.
Yeah, it was a ritual.
Yeah,
too.
it was a ritual.
Yeah,
And then I was like, I think it was New Year's Eve. It's like that is the day of reminding you or telling yourself that you want to change.
yeah, new beginnings.
New beginnings. And I was in my bathroom. I remember it as it was yesterday. And back in the days when I was smoking, we were not smoking joints. We were have pipes or chillums, like serious stuff.
They still have that. Yeah, but you get much more
much more
intense.
higher doses, I guess.
But
Also,
you still have that.
yeah. But you don't see it that much. But never mind. I'm not
Never
into
mind.
that scenery anymore. But and then I just looked in the mirror, I guess, and I said, "This is enough.
Yeah, I know.
This is the end of the rope. This is the last station."
Yeah.
And from that day, I didn't touch weed for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
But then I had no place to go because all my friends everywhere was triggered because it was so soaked in my environment or in my way of living.
Yeah, it was like a key part of the culture.
I couldn't. Yeah, no, I had to. I had to really reshuffle the deck, and I think that was the most lonely year in my life. I guess that was where I grabbed out for your mother, not in desperation, but I understand it now. Okay,
Like we talked about earlier. Now you woke up from the high and like maybe I should get a woman. It's also a good one.
Yeah,
Go from drugs to sex.
yeah. So I went from drugs to sex.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
it's maybe more healthy.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's the more natural thing. I mean, but that's the key part. Environment.
Yeah.
Right?
But then the environment, and that's the environment in Norway and in the Western culture was alcohol, right?
Yeah, like it still is in Norway.
Yeah, very much. And we were heavy drinkers. I mean, even when I smoked weed, we were drinking in the weekends, and it was like a mix, bring everything in.
Yeah.
But the alcohol, that's where the craziness comes in.
Yes, that's where.
So if you really want to go crazy or want to outgoing, you have to drink.
That's where the inhibitions go away.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where all the shit happens.
The good ideas
Yes.
rise.
Let's do this, guys.
That's a great idea, again. Listen.
So I think in my 20s and 30s, I was a heavy drinker. Not like, I think only the last 20 years in the Norwegian culture, this like everyday drinking has come in. Like you can take a glass of wine every day and that's okay. Before the culture norm was that you stayed sober whole week, like a working man, and then in the weekend you got drunk.
Yeah.
That was the pattern.
Not wasted.
Yes.
Yeah. It's coming from other cultures.
Yes.
But you kind of add.
And we had this, I don't know if it's a Norwegian drinking pattern, but the Norwegian, they like to sit up all night.
Yeah. I don't think that necessarily is such a.
No, but
I think more our pre-parties are more like Norwegian, Scandinavian.
Yes.
That they kind of
start hard and continue harder.
You get drunk before you go out on town or whatever, right?
But alcohol didn't take me the same way as weed and other drugs did.
Oh.
What about you?
Regarding alcohol?
Yeah.
I think I have a pretty balanced relation to alcohol. I don't need it too much, but I think it's fun now and then.
Yeah.
To do it.
But you lose it when you drink, or you think you have?
No, not much. I mean, it's maybe up to others to say, but
Yes.
but I'm pretty much myself. I'm usually in a good mood. I think I'm like your dad
Yes.
in many ways. Didn't change. I don't change.
You don't change to the worst.
I'm
but
still happy. Of course, you get a little more drunk, but I'm usually in a good mood when I drink.
yeah.
I'm not like I'm angry or
No,
it doesn't
but,
bring out.
but you can get very intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Because then you need to
you lose your inhibitions.
Yes, and you need to get your message across, and you're talkative, and
Yeah, I can get very talkative.
Yes.
But I'm usually in a pretty good mood. I don't do too much crazy stuff drinking. But it's maybe the most potent drug of them all because of that loss of inhibition thing.
yes,
So whatever the great idea you have, you might do.
you live it out.
You actually do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is wild.
But I think that for me, I've gradually changed my drinking habits. I had like at least 20-year drinking, like small drinking every day.
Yeah, you were like a
Steady, sharing a bottle of wine with my wife.
Yeah,
A couple of beers and a bottle of wine.
approaching like a functional alcoholic level.
Yeah.
And it's like quite high dose every day.
Yeah, but functioning. And
Yeah.
Doing all my
doing your
shit,
things.
training, working,
Which is, I think most people who drink a lot, they are usually that.
coping that way.
They're functioning.
Yeah.
But as you...
So it didn't dictate my life, but it was, I didn't do without. I learned some smart tricks.
Yeah.
I never drank
The
before 6 o'clock
You got to have
in
them.
the afternoon.
Yeah, that's the flagship of functioning alcoholics. They have to make some rituals that make you functional.
Yes.
Or else it just...
That's one of them.
Start at lunch or when you get up in the morning.
Yeah, then you're
It just
gone.
doesn't work.
Then you're gone.
You can do that with weed.
Yes.
In a
Yeah,
much greater extent than if you take a vodka shot in the morning, you're set to
But
go.
I never had it like you with weed. I was like, when I smoked,
But
of course I could do physical things, like go skiing
those are like-
or playing ice hockey or things that we used to do because we were like outdoor all the time. So that was okay. And of course entertainment, but to do intellectual work or to
Of course, it's harder.
read, books that are a little asking or demanding, not a chance.
No, I agree. It's just a different level of function, how you can function, which makes, in my opinion, weed a little more a spooky
But
drug because you can abuse it more without the immediate negative effect. Like if you go around, try to be at work drunk,
Yes.
people will notice like that.
Yeah. You
They're
cannot
like,
hide.
hey,
Cannot
you're
hide.
drunk.
Yeah.
You can't walk.
No, if you're that drunk. But it's a lot
Yeah.
of people that can hide it to a certain degree.
Sure.
How do you want to talk about how you got off it, or is that?
I think we can go into that a little bit. I think, but I stopped many times
Yes.
in my life.
Yes.
I don't know exactly how many, but I had like
Periods without.
pauses. Yeah, without. And now I haven't. It's been more than a year,
Yeah.
a little more.
Yes.
I don't recall exactly, but then I don't think about it, and I can partake if it's a social thing.
Without triggering.
I'm not saying, I don't. Then I'm like, I don't have the. Oh, now I have to get a more for myself.
No.
So I think it's down to habits and environment, and I don't feel like I have the need, and then I don't do it. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, but this is something you have managed now because you think you have broken the habit or broken the pattern, or you're afraid of it can come back and take you.
I don't even think about it much, to be honest. So I'm
that's
not
a
really
good sign.
afraid. I'm not worried at all.
No.
I think as long as I fill my life with things I enjoy somewhat, it's not in my personality to be super addicted in a way.
No, I think
I don't have the need to
both me and you are blessed with that. I don't know if you can take credit for it or not.
I don't know what it is. It's like you said maybe you stopped one day. I was like,
Yeah.
why did you do that? It's like, well,
Very interesting.
why did you do that? Right?
Is it the God that said do it, or is it your forefathers, or it's some stupid cells in your
But this is
body that don't want it anymore?
it's super hard to say exactly why. But I think also from like this is a whole industry, like the rehab industry,
Yep.
and
They don't really want
they
it.
don't know, but
No.
they don't know themselves
No.
because their success rate is
Yes.
like
Low.
10%, 20,
Yes.
something like that.
Yes. Whatever
And
method they
and
throw
then-
in.
And then you whatever method. And then you ask like, okay, so how did those 10, 20% do it?
Yes.
And I think the basic answer is that they just did it themselves.
Yeah, they don't know. Inner
They stopped
motivation.
themselves.
Yes, inner motivation.
You have to kind of do it yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the ugly truth about probably all kind of habits.
Yes.
Of course, you can change the environment, and that's a good thing. But
Yes.
if you don't want to change,
It doesn't
you
happen.
just find a different way.
Yeah.
Or you just replace.
Yes.
You put in a new bad habit.
Yep.
Because there's something element of self-destruction, which is very appealing in
Yes.
many ways. To self-destruct is in our human nature. It's very
Yeah, it's the underground man. It's like
something
yeah,
nice
it's-
about it.
yes,
in a strange way. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like being sentimental.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
It's a good feeling.
And you can also take the higher ground, moral ground, because you're saying that, okay, I'm beating myself up a little.
Yeah.
So you have like two persons. You have like a super and a super, you
Yeah.
know,
you have it in religion
super
too.
self.
Right?
Yes,
It's like this.
like a lance.
I'm a sinner.
Yes,
Whip
I'm a
myself.
yes, and I love it.
Well, yeah, and there's some pleasure.
Yes,
So all these negative habits is so complex, given that we can derive pleasure from self-destruction,
yes,
which is wild,
which is pretty
because
wild.
most animals don't,
Yes.
and lion doesn't.
But
do this.
that's also the beauty with being a human, that you can correct. It's complicated. It's 1,000 ways to do it. It's not given. And it's always a possibility.
Yeah.
And I guess the strongest one is to have a conversation with somebody that you trust and that you can, be honest to the degree you are aware.
Yeah, of course.
And
There's some
also be, mirrored to your, biases, or what you can call it, the things you're not aware. Because when I changed my drinking habits from the daily, and then I had some, things happening with my body. We don't need to go there, but so I stopped drinking for like 2 years.
Yeah.
For like 5-6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then now my habits is like mostly not drinking, but I drink, if it's the right company and something, I can do it and I enjoy it. I love wine, I love whiskey, I love the taste, I love this. But I can also be in social context without drinking.
Yeah.
And that is very interesting because I don't find it that interesting after some hours to be sober with drunk people.
No, when they reach some limit,
Then you see how stupid they are.
yeah, it becomes a mess.
Yes.
Sorry.
And that's the problem I had with us a couple of times. We had some parties. And when I'm sober and people are drunk, I say, oh, what shit? Is it possible?
Yeah.
Because you're not intoxicated yourself. So you
No.
see it with a very critical mind.
Yeah.
And then you see, oh, this is not the best version of him.
No, of course.
So maybe you should try that, to be sober when I'm drunk and see,
See how that works.
see how you judge it.
I've done the being at parties sober.
Yes.
And it's as you say, maybe the 3-4 hours is okay, and then it starts to be like, you know what, this is not interesting.
No,
I can't understand. You're not making any sense no more.
So,
but when sex, drugs, and rock and roll has its place in life,
yes,
and it's like
important.
anything else,
And it's fun.
Yeah, but it got to be done right.
Yes.
Not too much, not too little. So it's a balance.
Yeah, we can go into the sex stuff maybe another time. That's a big topic. It's a never-ending story, and there's many perspectives there. That's
Probably
interesting.
need a episode on that one.
Yeah,
for sure. And
it's a big driver. But what I wanted to ask you for is like when you have all these habits, so how it's about smoking? You're smoking cigarette on a daily basis,
it's not too much.
but on a daily basis.
Yeah, but it can go days where I don't.
Yeah, but why
So it's
are you
like-
doing it?
I think it's just like a leftover habit from smoking joints,
Yeah.
mostly. But I'm smoking more or less and less, especially now that I've been working out so much.
Yes.
You kind of lose the appetite for it. Plus, you get the more immediate negative
Feeling, yeah,
feeling.
because you are
Yeah, because I want to not.
more pure.
I rather
Conserve
not
the
have it
good.
that rough tomorrow morning.
Now you want to conserve the
Yeah.
good feeling.
So it just.
But
has
you have
its place.
any, you have any, thoughts that, of course, it's just a health issue.
It's definitely it's a silly habit.
Yeah,
That's simple.
it is.
Yeah.
As a habit.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I'm a social smoker. You know that.
Yeah.
And
I think that's fine,
I can
but
not
not do it every day.
No, as a habit, it's.
If you have like this, then
and
it's-
especially you that
price is too high.
have the capacity to turn off things like that.
yeah.
So I would.
I'm going more and more in the direction of not doing it at all.
I think that's. I
you
would
can
be
do it at the
super,
party.
I would be super happy on behalf of you if you could just quit smoking.
Yeah. But I'm not a big smoker anyway, so it's
No,
not
no,
a big
but-
leap. It's not
No,
like
no,
I'm
no.
doing
No,
2
no,
packs a day.
No.
So it's not anything crazy like that.
No. But it's the interesting in when you want a cigarette. That's like a whole very spiritual moment, because then you can really, turn on your attention and say, okay, what's going on here? Is it something that is distressing me, or why do I seek that comfort right
true.
now?
No, I think most people who've been smoking, they can relate that when you are if it's something emotional or stressful,
Yeah,
then it's much more. It's easier to have a cigarette.
that's
you-
why you
the
grab,
opposite.
and then it becomes a pattern, right?
Yeah. And it's
And super
highly
addiction.
addictive.
Highly addictive.
The substances in
Yes.
itself are highly addictive.
Yes,
Probably the most nicotine that
they say
there
so.
is
They say so.
of any.
Yes.
So of course that's a hard one to kick.
Yeah.
And a lot of people go from doing that to doing the snooze.
Yes, That's a Scandinavian thing.
yeah, but it's spreading.
Yes, it is.
Like any drug.
So
it's a drug.
snooze is. Can you explain what it is?
Well, it's like not like chewing tobacco, but it's tobacco in a little bag which
Yeah.
you put under your lip.
And there is some
And
small, tiny glass
I
in
don't
it.
think that. I think
Is
that's
that a myth?
not really.
Yeah.
But there's substances that open up your blood vessels,
Yeah.
so
So
you can
you take
absorb
in
it.
the
better.
nicotine directly into
Yeah.
the blood.
So, but I think that's gonna come around to be equally as bad as smoking soon enough, because you fuck up your health in a different way. It's not good for you,
No, and you can take
and
it.
you can take it more.
because it's camouflaged.
Yeah, and it's not easy, and
And you don't
you can
disturb
lie in your
your
bed.
environment.
you can be in your bed.
Yeah. You
A
can
lot of
do it.
people sleep with it.
Yes.
It's just
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, very soothing. Because it's a mouth thing, but that's smoking also.
But there we go, and which is on like harmful things, sometimes it's better when things are very harmful.
Yeah, because then
Because you
it's
can't
visual.
do it all the time.
Yeah, it's visual.
Yeah, you can't just have a
But it's
vodka
super
shot all
harmful,
the time.
but nobody sees, and you don't even see it yourself, and
Yeah,
you
then you
gradually
do it
you're
more.
there. Yes.
And maybe it becomes even worse.
Yeah, and you can. It's same with Pepsi Max.
Yeah, like
It kills you, but
It's lifetime.
not on the daily basis, and it's.
so. I would venture to argue that it's not the sex, drugs, and rock and roll that takes you down.
No.
It's
the
that
snooze.
boring lifestyle choices of
Yes.
eating not so good and
Yes.
doing the silly things.
Yes.
Because then you do it all the time.
Yes.
How often can you go on that sex rock and roll party?
No,
It's not just not happening
that's
every
not
day.
So often presented for you.
At least you'll
Yeah.
It's
It
a very
limits itself.
limited, self-limiting. No, so I was that's something because we need our Viking quest. We need a journey. We need a quest,
Yes.
and
And we need to be prepared.
and this is what we're doing now. The preparation, like the physical and the mental, right?
Yes.
But after all that it's said, you have to have the quest has to go somewhere, right? So you got to do something.
Yeah, we have plans. Maybe we can, wait a little before we.
Yeah, we don't
Expose
have
them.
to reveal all the plans, but I was a bit drunk last weekend,
Yes.
and
You were
as
cooking
a
up plans.
using the symposium, the
Yes.
good old Greek way of brainstorming
Yes.
on drugs, which is very good.
Yeah.
Just have to remember.
Yes. That's the hard thing.
That's the hard thing. Witnesses.
Yes.
So we don't have to reveal it now, but I'll ask you off air.
Yes.
And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So that's a challenge in the preparation mix.
But I think we need. We still have time for doing some more challenges.
Yeah. I think
And
so.
we'll keep doing that. I think it's a very cool way of doing hard things.
Yes.
And
I'm
given
on
though that I enjoy my current challenge
Yes.
so much,
You're-
I'm
yeah.
less inclined to give you a really shitty one. So we
Yeah.
have to find.
Yeah, I
Something
mean,
that's
it
productive.
shouldn't be like, okay, you can be a Zen master and, really give the hard lesson. So sometimes that's necessary. But
Yeah.
it's for, it's a bigger picture here, right? It's like
It's a
trying to...
preparation.
Yes.
You want to have the.
And I need the benefit of a tyrant and also to be a senior. So
It's a lot of. You need.
I need a lot of grace, lot of leeway.
leeway. You'll
Yeah.
have some leeway, but
Yeah.
we'll have to.
Okay.
I mean, this current challenge is coming to an end soon.
Yeah,
And,
and then it's my turn, but I think also we can mix it, so we don't
But
need
I
to
don't.
have one thing
I'm not going to
going at
stop.
If you stop training, then the preparation, the theory,
well,
which
then
is
the theory fails.
the interesting thing with your theory, because you launched it and so you are hanging on it, is
Yeah.
that 6 week makes a habit.
That's the idea. Yeah.
That's the theory. That's the idea.
Yes.
And when the 6 weeks is over, and if you stop, then your theory sucks. Or
Then it failed this time for sure.
and you also are falling a little short towards yourself.
Yes.
I hopefully will still love
But
you,
I'm not. But it's not.
or
with
I
this-
will be loyal.
Yeah. But
Love is coming and going.
with this current challenge, I'm not thinking like, oh, I have this much time left, and
It's not
I'm
like
done.
being in jail,
I'm not thinking that
counting
way.
the days.
I'm just happy that I'm doing it. So
Yeah, I think.
It's not-
I mean, we've been doing it for some weeks, and I'm super happy that we can do it together.
yeah, I think that's good.
I feel it is sort of a blessing for me. It's like an opening to rearrange things, both when it comes to perspective and also when it comes to being together in a different way.
Mhm.
I think we have some friends in the training group that can, introduce us. You already tried that a little to wrestle or do the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
That would be fun.
martial arts.
That's a really, back to the
It's fun.
days.
It's really good.
Last time we had the play, then I really had the upper hand. I think I stopped right before you were like challenging me, right?
Little dangerous.
We were like 14, 15. I felt that, okay, this is
getting rough.
Yeah, because you don't want to punch your kid in the face.
No, but then that's why you have like a martial arts where you have some rules and boundaries and how to do this.
And the good thing with wrestling or jiu-jitsu is that there's no punches.
Yes.
So it's more controlled.
It's less prone to accident.
Yes, also.
Which is, it can happen, but you don't get the same.
But now we've been training every day, and it's been a little on my turf, my program. I think my program is a good program, but it's also designed a little for what suits me. But we were thinking of that is a way to build up a platform for you.
You got to start.
Yes.
And you got to get in shape first.
Yes. But now this week, you were really going for it. It's like the first week you had something to go with.
Yeah. It takes
so
a little
you had
time.
the leg day today. How is your legs?
It's a little, I'm sore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like that every day now.
Super interested. We train every day.
It's like that every day now. No. So I don't feel much difference. It's just always a bit sore and somewhere. But it's so fine. It's not bothering me.
No.
And I guess that's the stage of doing it every day. You kind of just, that's the way.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that when you make it a habit, and it starts automatically. You can. Today I came to the gym. I was like totally not motivated, tired, hadn't slept well, blah 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 blah.
All the reasons why not to.
And then I know exactly what to do, and I just start. And it's a way that the body just takes over.
And this is the blessing of productive habits.
Yes.
It's that you can lean on them while
and you let your body free. You let your body do it. You just move your fuck away.
Just get your mind out.
Yeah, turn it off. Let the body rule.
Yeah,
let the body do the work.
No. So the we talked about like this like 2 episodes ago, but I think the biggest game changer is to do the preparation the day before.
Yeah.
And when you have everything set up, it's almost harder to do something else because it's like, I have my bag here. You feel like, what am I going to not go? Yeah.
No,
you just go.
Your preps. I mean, of course, I'm a strong advocate for doing your workout in the morning, and there's a lot of good arguments for that. We don't go there, but
no, we cover that pretty well.
If you want to do it first thing in the morning, you have to do all the preparations before you go to bed.
Yeah. No, that was the key takeaway of like 2 episodes ago, and it holds. That's it.
Yes.
Then I think that's like with anything in life. If you do some sort of preparations for things, you are kind of invested.
Yes.
And to turn around, it's
you're
harder.
Then you're long in it.
Yeah, then it's like
it's always hard to give up a long position.
Yeah, it kind of takes advantage of our. As humans, we have this huge loss aversion.
Yes.
Not to gain something is okay, but to lose, that sucks.
We don't like it.
It's a 7-1.
And also now we talked about the motivation, but also that you have like there a group there. There's a lot of nice people we like, and we are pep. And it's you feel that you're in a way, if you don't show up, you're a loser. Or not a loser, that's not the right word.
At least you're losing out.
Yeah, losing out, that's much better. You feel some obligation.
Yeah, you're missing out. You're
missing out, yes. Yeah. You want to be part of the team. Yeah. And the main rule is to show up.
Yeah, or else you're not. No, I think that's definitely the most important thing with habits. It's the environment, and if you have an environment where you have a team and you feel you belong,
you can look for that environment also.
Yeah,
you can create it,
but it's not simple necessarily, right?
Nothing is simple,
but
But simple and doable are two different things.
Yeah, of course. But if you like speaking to people who look for a way to say they want to start working out, then, right? You
Yeah, and
like,
then I heard
find
that
new
so many. I
people
work
and-
out, but I need to work out with somebody. And then this somebody is not consistent. And then you are not
And you have
consistent.
that issue, right? But
So you have to start doing it for yourself, with yourself.
there's ways around. You can join a group activity where there's enough people that there's always someone showing up.
Yes,
There's ways, but
there's ways.
you got to find your own way
Yep,
and do your prep and show up
yep.
and stop thinking about it so much.
So, dear John, the lost son, you shall really have credit for showing up so far.
Thank you.
We haven't completed 6 weeks, and maybe we
Oh.
will look a little into it when we've done it. And
We'll do a recap and
then
do some before and after shots. And
you and your friends that knows me have boiled up something that you should drag me into. So that's maybe for the next episode.
I think we should do that.
Yes.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you for today.
Thank you. Bye.